This is intelligent. If you watch it, I promise you benefit. Leadership and motivation. Empathy and inspiration. Leadership and motivation. Empathy and inspiration. Biz Dev Live. Weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz Dev Live. Weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz D with C. Brought to you by Cameron T. Biz D with C. Brought to you by Cameron T.
Good morning. Good morning. So today's show is about winning over customers, how to win customers, keep customers, win employees that are going to serve your customers and build your team. So what I want to talk about today is, essentially how do you, create a business and actually feed that business with customers. When you create your business, you're typically thinking about what are people going to pay for, and I've talked a lot about profit, and that's something that's really important. You're probably not getting into a business that you think doesn't serve a need or fill a need, that sort of thing. So how do you win customers? It really is just as simple as explaining that case study scenario in what you're going to do or how you're going to serve your customer, and doing it in a very clear, concise way. Just today, I'm looking at marketing materials from somebody that's been in business for a while, and I wonder if they aren't looking at their own material and saying, under a filter, would I buy from myself? That's as simple as I can make it. When you put out your content, you really need to look at it as a customer yourself. If you can win yourself as a customer, able to step away from your marketing, from your message, from what you do, if you're able to step away and look at that from the outside looking in, and if you're not able to do that, then get somebody quick. Get your kids, get your wife, get your husband, get somebody outside of your circle, get all of these folks, ideally, to give you some opinion and feedback on what your marketing message looks like. Whatever case you're trying to fill, in terms of need case, right, for your customer, you should be able to make that argument convincingly. For everyone that's watching this, that's saying, oh man, the reason I'm not starting a business, the reason I'm not getting deep into something is because I don't feel like I bring value to the table. Stop that. You got to get comfortable with the idea that what you do is of extreme value, and then provide that use case scenario. Now, whatever cost, and I'm hoping that when you set up that business, that you're putting it in at a price margin where you have a comfortable profit. And what should profit be? At least 40 cents of every dollar, 30% going to a profit line above and beyond your salary line, and then 10% into capital funding. I would say that's a bare minimum. If you can do better than that, and that is including, right, so in your costs, your payment for staff, which if you're working for your company, yourself, and whoever's working for you, and whatever expenses you incur in delivering that business. By having 40 cents of every dollar going above the line into the black margins of profit and capital savings, you can then grow your business. The reason I'm talking about this in terms of winning customers is when you have a profit margin and when you're comfortable with the money that you make in your business, then it becomes easier to do some of the things that you should be doing, like the thank you cards and the gift that comes after you've done business with them, because you've worked really hard to get that customer. Now, how are you keeping them? How are you showing the appreciation for working with them? And so many people struggle very, very hard to get customers that may be finicky. They lower their costs to compete with other vendors in their given sector, in their given market. And what a lot of time ends up happening is you're fighting for these customers that really aren't loyal to you. The only thing they're loyal to is the lowest price for the commodity that they're purchasing. And that is not a good customer. That is not the customer you want. You want a customer that values you. A great example in the marketplace, I go to Target over Walmart, and why? Because even though I might spend a few more pennies on a given item, it's well lit, the people are nice, they care about the experience in the store. Meanwhile, I go to Walmart, I don't have the same experience. And sort of tellingly, just in White Plains, I'm in Valhalla, New York, and White Plains is right next to me. There was a Walmart and there was a Target right next door to each other. The Walmart has gone out of business, the Target's in business. So you can tell when you're doing it right. You can charge a few more pennies and people are going to make the long-term choice to stick with the better experience. And Target, isn't the most expensive place in the world. So you sort of can find your place in the market that makes the most sense. Not everybody's Target, though. If you're providing one-on-one services with somebody, that is a very valuable thing. You should be charging a high rate for it. Maybe you need to be working with clients that can afford that, and you need to be targeting clients that can afford that. Apart from that side of the story, when you get that customer, how do you keep them, right? So clear marketing to get them in. Use case scenario, there's a real reason for them to be working with you. You focus on them, you provide great interaction, great results. Why wouldn't they work with you? Why wouldn't someone choose to work with you? Your book knowledge, your education, your experience does equal a dollar monetary value, and people need to understand that you've put the time in and that your time is worth it, right? So then in keeping your customers by building in that profit margin, you can then show your affection. You can fund having even somebody helping you in the marketing department put out a regular newsletter with helpful links, with helpful things around your marketplace that can benefit your customers and keep them having attention on you, your name, and what you do, and allow you, as you gain reputation and market share in the industry, add new services and products, and by having that profit margin in there, be able to offer new things because you're able to develop. Because you have that profit margin, you can develop new products and offerings for that market, which you always want to do because great customers, you want to serve them. If you've helped them once, you can probably help them again. That's not taking advantage of the same pool. That's just, understanding that you build up trust with clientele. So when Target offers fruits and veggies, we don't buy from them all the time. We occasionally, well, most of the time we go to the supermarket, but occasionally when we need it, and Target has bananas there and we need it and we don't want to stop at it, we buy it from Target. You understand that? Hopefully that makes a lot of sense, because if you're a business coach with a great brand and I'm really into it, maybe I do want to buy a t-shirt or a hoodie that represents my values. And that's cool if you're able to offer that, but you can't offer that on a profitable level if you haven't built that into your business model and had a profit margin to begin with. Hopefully that makes sense. But as you build up your reputation, as you build up your following, and how do you do that? You have to have that profit margin. So you get your customers, those customers, you're going to take care of them. They're paying enough that you can actually build the business in addition to fund your paycheck, right? So that's really important. Now you're growing, you've won your customers, you're continuing to win new customers because the customers that you've had, you've kept them and the word of mouth is spreading. So that's amazing. How do you win the employees that are going to keep this going and keep this growing? Expectations. So going back to your marketing message to your clients, we want to make sure that the message really wins the customers, that they understand absolutely what the business use case scenarios is for your product. Same thing for your employees. They need to understand what you're selling, how you're selling it, the systems and processes. I talk about eMyth by I'm gonna mess it up. But I talk about it all the time. eMyth by Michael E. Gerber. And in terms of, I wish I read this book 9 years ago when I was opening up Toth Event Staffing, but the idea of laying out all the positions in advance so you understand those positions and those titles and those job descriptions, and you can tweak those as you go. So you're hiring smartly, but your expectations are really clear and out there. So your marketing on your product is really clear, and your marketing on your business structure is really clear, so that the expectations when staff come in terms of what the customer experience is supposed to look like, because you want it to look like the experience that you've given and that you've delivered, and you want it to be in a certain way. You want to let people be individuals and handle a problem as long as they come to a great result. You don't really necessarily care exactly how they get there, but you want to lay out the structures so that everybody's on the same page and understands what the result is supposed to be and how important the process is to get there. Once you're winning employees, how do you build a team? It's really interesting that I think I've, by accident or by trial and error, built a great team in my company that's created a great culture. And how have we done that? A hiring process that's really true and steady and thorough, really systemized, so that every person that comes through the interview process is really getting a very similar experience. The expectations are laid out, the culture is set. And so I will have staff, without prompting from me, training and adjusting other staff that are coming into the company in just the way that I would if I was there. Say, hey, this is not really what we do. This is what we do, that sort of thing. That adjustment is happening on its own because the expectations, the culture is set. How do I do that? Thorough interviews. Those job descriptions are laid out very well. We know both from a high level kind of fuzzy, this is what this sort of role looks like in terms of experience, and then on a very specific, this is what the attitude is for somebody that's coming into a company. This is what that's supposed to look like. So you can build your team that way, and by having foresight and laying out those positions and understanding them as you are developing them, but before you're hiring, understanding those positions, working in those positions, and tweaking those job descriptions as you go, you're going to be able to build a much better team. I really look forward to your comments and questions. Please let me know if I can help your business in any way as I move through the pandemic here and pivot. I am developing a company that will help businesses grow, build their team, win customers, and really improve on what they're doing to grow and really do well in their marketplace. So I look forward to helping you. Reach out, leave comments, subscribe, like. I really appreciate you. Thank you very much, and I will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. This is business development, not even selling it. This is intelligent. If you watch it, I promise you benefit. Leadership and motivation, empathy and inspiration. Leadership and motivation, empathy and inspiration. Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. This is business development, not even selling it. This is intelligent. If you watch it, I promise you benefit. Leadership and motivation, empathy and inspiration. Leadership and motivation, empathy and inspiration. Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T.
Subscribe, like. I'll see you tomorrow.